Hola, mis amigos. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and it's a new year. So happy New Year to all of you. I believe it's 2022. And with the start of a new year, I wanted to do a new reaction to a new artist on my channel. So I've been looking at this particular artist, and several of you have recommended that I do a reaction to his voice and have praised him highly, and so I'm excited to hear him sing. His name is Gabriel Henrique. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And I believe he's from Brazil, so I did a Portuguese greeting today, so hopefully I did okay. The other thing that I wanted to kind of do that directed me to this song is kind of do a little shout out to my wife. We just had our 27th wedding anniversary last month, and I'm very grateful to her for all that she does for me and for the wonderful woman that she is. And she's an amazing mother and wife and a wonderful friend as well. That's kind of how we got started, actually. We were super good friends and did a lot of stuff together with a group, and things progressed, and of course we ended up getting married. So I just wanted to do a special shout out to her. Her name's Amy, and she's not really into like reactions and stuff as much, but she's an incredible vocalist and music teacher and leader. She actually is the musical director at one of the local schools here, and they're working on Les Mis. She just finished auditions and is working individually with the vocalists at this point, and she's just amazing. She directed over 20 musicals at the high school back where we lived in California. So she's just amazing. And if you want to hear her sing, I did post a performance that we did way back. This was when she was directing one of the high school choirs, close to 20 years ago, actually. We sang a cover of The Prayer, the song, that Andrea Bocelli and Celine Dion sang. So if you want to go look out on my channel, you can find our performance there. If you want to see her in action, she's amazing. So with that, I'm going to proceed with my reaction. And part of what I do for those that are new to my channel is I go through and I read the lyrics for the song in question, and I kind of talk about what message I feel is being conveyed and how it hits me and things like that. The other thing, for those of you that are not interested in that, is that I do create chapters in my YouTube videos. So if you're not interested in this part of my reaction, you can fast forward to that next chapter there that I mark on the video, and just start right in with the reaction itself. So if that's you, you're not into the lyrics part, feel free to skip ahead at this point and go directly to my reaction. So for those that are interested, this is, of course, I Have Nothing, written by David Foster and Linda Thompson, original artist Whitney Houston. The lyrics are, "Share my life, take me for what I am, 'cause I'll never change all my colors for you. Take my love, I'll never ask for too much, just all that you are and everything that you do. I don't really need to look very much further. I don't want to have to go where you don't follow. I will hold it back again, this passion inside. Can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. Don't make me close one more door. I don't want to hurt anymore. Stay in my arms if you dare, or must I imagine you there? Don't walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing if I don't have you. You see through right to the heart of me. You break down my walls with the strength of your love. I never knew love like I've known it with you. Will a memory survive, one I can hold on to?" And then it goes through the chorus again. And then it repeats the chorus. "Don't you dare walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing if I don't have you." So I love how this talks about this forever love aspect. I don't want to have to go where you don't follow. So it's talking about this strong love that breaks down walls and provides strength and lives on in the memories and the lives of those that you come in contact with. And this is really at the heart of what we need in our lives, is this strong love. Whether that's our true love and our soulmate, the person that we marry or spend our life with and devote to, or if it's the love that we show our children, or the love we show our friends, or the love we show a complete stranger. We need to have a deeper, abiding love and a real love that lifts others up and brings out the best in them through our words of encouragement, through the service we render for them, through our acts of affection, whatever those things are. There needs to be more of it in the world. And that's the thing that I'm really grateful for with my wife and with my family, is that there's not a day that goes by that I don't tell my children that I love them, and my wife. And that's just something that we've always had. And even when my kids, when I drop them off for school or whatever, they're like, when they're saying goodbye, when I'm dropping them off, they're getting out of the car, they say, "Okay, love you," so, and it means something, right? I mean, it's not just them saying it. So it's important, and I feel very blessed to have it in my life and to have a wonderful wife at my side. So with that, let me cue this up here. So it looks like it's in like maybe his home studio or something like that. So I'm excited to see what he brings to a live performance here. But real quick, for those of you that haven't already, if you could please click on the subscribe and click on the little notifications bell there, so that you can be notified of any of my new reactions. Like I've said before, I'm going to try to, this is one of my New Year's resolutions, I'm going to try to really do more reactions, at least 1 or 2 a week, and really listen more to your comments and do more new artists and more new reactions to your favorite artists, and try to be better about that as a creator and on YouTube and as a host of this channel. So thank you again for all your patience and support over the last year and a half or so, and let's get to it.
Share my life.
His voice is high.
Take me for all I am, 'cause I never taste all my colors for you. Take my love. I never ask for too much.
I can already tell that he has just a warm, rich tone to his voice and a lot of control. This song requires a lot of control, right? I mean, that much is for sure a given for this song. To even take it on, you've got to have some level of confidence with your ability to control, and especially within your registers. And you kind of heard him there when he transitioned up into his falsetto there, his head voice there, during that one little phrase. It was really clean, and you could tell that he had a lot of strength behind his head voice. So I always try to go back just a little bit when I pause so I don't miss anything.
Take my love.
Yep, right there.
I never ask for too much. Just all that you are with everything that you do.
Nice.
I don't really need to look very much farther. I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I don't hold it back again. That's special inside. Can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide.
Nice.
We don't make me collide.
Wow.
I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stay my arms if you there. I must stay there. Seen you there. Don't walk away from me. I have nothing, nothing, nothing if I don't have you.
Wow. Yeah, he's doing a great job. I always have a lot of respect for singers that are singing in English when it's not their native language, right? I mean, that's got to be hard. I mean, I speak a little bit of Spanish. That's probably the language that I'm the most fluent in. But yeah, his English is definitely much better than my Spanish is. So I always have a lot of respect for performers that can perform in another language, and he's doing a great job with that. Um, but yeah, I can already tell, like, with the way that he's forming the vowels, the way he's supporting the notes, and kind of singing through, that he's got some really good musical habits. And I've talked about that before with other performers. You don't have to be classically trained to support the sound correctly and to have good habits as far as how you form the vowels and how much you open up and project and do all these other things that are kind of at the core of good fundamental vocal quality, right? And I can tell with him, as I've seen with some of the other artists I've reacted to that are not necessarily classically trained, that he has really good ears and he's got a good sense for what it should sound like and how to support. And I noticed I've heard there's a little cry in his voice that he brought in through that one little part there. And I also heard him kind of do a little bit of vocal fry there with when he was singing through the phrase. So he's adding little bits of texture through the course of the verses to, give it that. I've talked about it before. It's like the painting of the song. The song equals a painting, and he's the artist, and so he's pulling from different parts of his musical palette to texture it and color it and bring his own individual life to it, right? So props to him for that. Let me go back just a little bit here.
If I don't have you.
See how open he is right there? He's got good rhythm too.
You see it through right to the heart of me. You break to my arms when the strength of your love. No,
It's good resonance there. Nice.
I never knew love like tonight with
Wow.
you.
Nice.
Your memories survive all I can hold on to. I don't really need to look very much farther. I do wanna have to go where you don't follow. I hold back again this passion in time. Get wrong from myself. There's nowhere to hide. You'll remember forever. Don't make me collide with mother. I don't wanna hide anymore.
Nice.
Stay my arms if you there. I must stay there. Seen you there. Don't walk away from me. No, I have nothing, nothing, nothing. Don't
Oh, wow.
hold me close, but mother, I don't wanna hold anymore.
This is an ambitious song to be taking on as a male vocalist, right? In this range. I mean, it just continues to modulate into these higher keys, right? And he's just taking it like a champ. And I think too, he's got that resonance to his tone. Like some guys, when they sing high, the voice comes through almost, and it sounds kind of like a female voice in some cases, right? Because of the way that it's more, there's not that depth to it that gives it kind of that male quality. I don't know how to explain it. You probably know what I'm talking about, but that's what I've kind of noticed here with Gabriel. Oh, is it Gabriel or Gabriel? You guys can let me know in the comments. Is that he kind of has that tone to his voice where it kind of has that edge, that depth to it, even when he's singing high, that brings that through. But it's just one thing I notice. You hear that kind of edged, kind of growl to it. Oh, what? Sorry to pause it there. Was that a whistle? I think he just jumped up into a whistle. I gotta go back and listen to that again. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. Okay. Let's go back. I think he did. Let me go back here. That's crazy. Wow. That's hard to transition between those registers too, like that. Nice. That resonance. Okay. Well, that was pretty crazy. Yeah, he has a phenomenal voice. That flew me for a loop there. He's got a very high voice and a really strong head voice, and to hear his whistle, that's really cool. Because as other vocal coaches have probably said, you probably have heard them say this when they've done reactions to Dimash, right? That a lot of male vocalists don't have a whistle register. It's more common with women, and that's pretty much what I've run into as well in the classical side of things. I think it has to do something with like the vocal cords and the mechanisms and how that works in creating the whistle. It's harder with men. But yeah, that's impressive, and I'd like to kind of hear more of him going up into his whistle and kind of showing that part of his voice a little bit more. So if you have recommendations for that, as far as performances of his that I can react to, that show off that side of his voice, and maybe even some of the lower stuff as well, like just to kind of see what his range looks like from that standpoint. I don't imagine that his voice is very low. It seems like it's very high timbre. And that's part of the way that the vocal cords work. It's like it's easier with the voice to actually stretch it and to get it to go higher because you're kind of stretching the vocal cords out. But the lowness of your voice is kind of controlled by how much you relax your vocal cords and kind of decrease them in size and things like that. And that's kind of the mechanisms and how they work. And so it's harder to take your voice lower necessarily, especially once you get to a certain point. Then you have to kind of look at using other options like subharmonics and things like that to go lower. But yeah, he's the real deal. He's good. So I have to say you were right about him. He's definitely got a gift, and I'm excited to hear more of his stuff and kind of to see him go for it. And so yeah, put down your recommendations in the comments. And I just think it's really neat to see someone like this from Brazil that's just kind of stepping up and working on their talent and putting themselves out there and getting some success. I mean, it's awesome. I'm just happy for someone like this that takes advantage of that opportunity and works hard and ends up becoming well known and liked by many. So good for him. So I'm excited to see his journey. That's part of what I love on my channel, as many of you know, is to kind of see the artist and their journey and what they learn and how they progress and grow. And it's really interesting to me. So I look forward to that with him. And as I do with all of my reactions, I just want to close by letting each of you know Happy New Year, as I said before. And you need to know this year and every day that you are loved, you can accomplish your dreams, and you are special. And I don't just say that because it's something to say, but I say it because you need to know it, and we all need to be reminded of that, and to tell ourselves that every day, and to have others encourage us and support us and love us, and to be in a fostering environment. And that's part of why I created my channel, was to kind of hopefully create that environment for a community of people that want to experience music and allow it to light their lives and lift them when they need it, and to be able to interact with others who feel the same way, and form a good community of friends. And hopefully that's what we're accomplishing together. And I appreciate your support, and take care.